From the Sage Sun behind the camera. Here in front of me is my son Ty. He's 15. Yeah, I'm putting him on video today so he can share what he has to say in terms of perception, light, dark, and you speak.
Well, firstly, lately we've all been feeling the coming of Christ consciousness, and Christ consciousness is the existence, just the entity in general, but also the feeling of pure light energy. And that pure light energy is something that when I say Christ, I don't mean like Christianity's perception of Jesus Christ, but I just do generally mean pure light energy. And
like as in a consciousness, so to speak.
Yeah, and that consciousness comes in a mental, emotional, spiritual and physical form. And when you talk about just anything in general, there's always two sides, yin and yang. And with Christ consciousness, that doesn't apply, because the pure light side of yin and yang, which is yang, is complete Christ consciousness, because it's the pure light energy and the pure positive energy. And there is obviously an opposite to that, which is the dark energy. But when I talk about dark energy, most people would really think, oh yeah, dark energy means it's going to be bad. And that is not true at all, because if you think about it, there is no such thing as good or bad. And I know a few people would have realised this, but to take it further, there in Yin and Yang, if you read about the principles of it, there is no good, no evil, no black, no white, because everything is one.
Yeah.
Like nothing is everything, everything is nothing, and there's no in between. Just as there is no extremes at the same time. So there's just no, like, how would I put it, like, there is no good, there is no evil, but there is the extreme good and the extreme evil. Like there's, if you think about it, if you think of an analogy, like there's the floor and then there's the ceiling, but there's nothing in between. But also, at a different perception, that is the ceiling and that is the floor. And everything is perceived, because people perceive dark as evil and light as good. But when harnessed with the wrong intentions and the bad intentions, so to speak, light can be bad or perceived as bad, and dark can be perceived as bad in the same circumstances, whereas dark can be perceived as good with the right intentions, but the right perceived intentions. And yeah, that's all I have to say really. That perception is just an illusion. Reality in itself is an illusion. Nothing exists, but everything exists at the same time. Just like yin and yang, it's a constant cycle of infinity. It's always going, but not going at all at the same time. So
wow.
That's it.
In terms of the Christ consciousness energy that is coming through, have you got any thoughts on that? Is there any way that we can harness this powerful energy into our lives?
Well, one thing that people should start doing, and I'm not going to say could, because, you know, you should, definitely. Just all sources of negativity, whether they be from people that you've never realised were sources of negativity, or whether they be people you've always known that are sources of negativity, but you can never get yourself away from them. You just gotta cut them off. Like, I know a lot of people right now, especially light workers, and that they may be feeling like they're quite shut down. I mean, like we all have at the moment, even me myself. But
Yeah.
not so much. But you just gotta keep calling it, to be honest. And I do kind of find it hard to call in entities and like just everything from up above, because it is quite a long way away if you think about it. But you call from within your own power. It just helps it come forward, you know. It gives you just gives you the power to do so, really. I don't know, because Christ consciousness, there's not a lot known about it, so there's not really much that can be said without, you know, like divine interference and like channeling through other like.
And I suppose experiencing,
Yeah.
like when the energy comes through, experiencing it. Excuse me. One other question, Ty. So a lot of us as light workers, I think in particular, light workers my age and above, a lot of us will look at outside of ourselves in terms of calling in our power, even. So looking outside to call what is in fact our own power. What are your thoughts on that?
I do think that is a good way, because no one really has complete control or complete like ownership over their own personal power. So having to call from outside sources to call back your power for you or to help manifest it is something you really should be doing, because no one, I don't think anyone in history has ever done anything by themselves without help from someone else. Just like, you know, like I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for my mum, just like everybody. So calling on help is the same thing as literally calling on help from other sources. Yeah, the same thing as helping you to survive, like a motherly figure or fatherly figure, whoever you think is calling on that help to help you bring your power back to you, can be seen as that, to be honest, I think.
And with going to go back to Christ consciousness energy again, with the Christ consciousness energy coming through, will this energy, in a sense, in terms of that transference of energy, in terms of harnessing that energy within our higher selves. And I think maybe I ask this in particular because there are so many people at the moment saying that their guides have gone, that they're losing their connection, their angelic connections. It's like everything's kind of disappeared from that kind of 4D plane of connection in terms of us ascending into that 5D. With that high energy coming through, is it going to be a matter of us kind of being able to literally harness from within rather than from outside as time goes on, as we start integrating? What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I think that is the case. I really now that you mention it, the fact that everyone does feel that way, and the fact that the coming of the Christ consciousness as just like, yeah, just this coming, I think it does like give us signs that a new age where instead of having to rely on outer sources, like to help with everything, call on our personal power.
Yeah.
Like, just as we see like beings like Archangel Michael, and that as high beings, start seeing ourselves as those high beings or beings of such great power.
Yeah.
Calling on our own inner souls, higher souls, to help with whether it be the smallest thing or changing the world. Calling on our own powers instead of, well, not instead, but alongside those outer sources. And yeah, that's what I think is going on right now, yeah.
All right then, brilliant. Thank you so much, Ty. And I will I'll be back with everybody soon.